Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I've got another session for you coming to you. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a round of applause for our wonderful speakers coming up? There we go. Love it, love it, love it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are presenting RCS business messaging. It's not just hype, it's a knockout. And I'm super excited to promote and introduce them for their first email camp. First time, Isabella Rom, the product marketing manager over at Cinch, and Katie Brennan, marketing director of North America at Cinch. Isabella, Katie, how are y'all doing today? Good to see you.
We're doing great.
Excited to be here.
Pumped up.
Love it, excited. Thank you for joining us for your first email camp. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about some housekeeping rules really quick. In the words of James Brown, please put those questions in the Q&A tab. You'll see them on the far right-hand corner of the Goldcast platform, right next to the chat tab. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go and step out. Isabella, Katie, let me know if you need anything. I'm going to go and make sure we're having clean rounds in between these sessions, so I'll see y'all in just a little bit. Let me know if you need anything.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you, Thomas. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our session today. RCS business messaging. It's not just hype, it's a knockout. I'm Isabella. I'm here with my other half, Katie. We're your hype duo today. It's been an RCS event week for us. Katie and I just got back last night from an in-person RCS event on the West Coast at Google's campus. And we're really excited to be talking to you all today about RCS and RCS business messaging. So before we jump into content, short introductions. As Thomas said, I'm the product marketing manager for RCS at Cinch. I help bring rich messaging to life at Cinch and beyond. I've been in the messaging space for a few years now, and personally, I'm loving this new era of messaging that's unfolding. And whether you're learning about omni-channel messaging in RCS for the first time today, or you're an expert, we hope everyone leaves feeling energized and more in the know about the RCS channel. Over to you, Katie.
Thanks, Isabella. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie, Director of Marketing for North American Events here at Cinch. As Isabella mentioned, we're still riding high from our RCS event with Google yesterday. We talked to tons and tons of customers who are all excited about RCS. And so I'm really ready to bring those good RCS vibes to email camp here today. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to cover here. So we're going to get you up to speed real quick with some rapid fire rounds. What is RCS? What is RCS business messaging? The three pillars of RCS: trust, CX, and efficiency. And finally, we'll wrap up and we'll start taking some of those questions. So please do put those in the chat as we go through. But to start off, why don't we kick it off with a little fun warm-up exercise? I want everybody to jump into the chat right now and let the people know, are you team Android or are you team iPhone? Okay, you gotta pick your side. Yeah, declare your allegiance, you know, because sometimes people are really like contentious about this. This can be a heated subject. So here, let's get competitive. Android or iPhone, Google or Apple. So please put those in the chat. And, you know, I'm personally team iPhone. I don't know, Isabella, what are you?
I mean, I have to admit in the last year, I've had to become team Android. So that's where I'm at.
But because of all the RCS testing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. And see, you've got an Android, I've got an iPhone. We can get along. It can happen.
We do get along. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, now that everybody's all fired up, let me tell you why I asked. Three little letters, RCS, which stands for Rich Communication Services. RCS is a messaging protocol, okay, that offers a ton of advanced features compared to traditional SMS text messaging. So you can kind of think of it like SMS on steroids. Until very recently, though, only Android users could send and receive RCS. Apple didn't support it. And that led to a whole bunch of broken group chats and blurry photo sharing, and a whole lot of other UX issues that you've probably been experiencing and have been annoyed by if you've ever texted with somebody from the other team. But we have some breaking news, okay? After months and months of anticipation, years in the making, just last week, Apple released iOS 18, and that included support of RCS messaging. So right now, all of you guys that are in the chat, game changer, yeah, huge. Everybody in the audience right now, if you're Team iPhone, I'm going to improve your life right now and your Android friends' lives, okay? Grab your phones. I want all of you to open your settings and update to iOS 18 right now if you haven't already. Go ahead and do it now, and it can be processing in the background while we do this session. And then at the end, boom, your iPhone is RCS enabled.
Yeah.
And
Someone asked if it's on by default. It is on by default.
Yes. Yes. So it's automatically toggled on, but you will actually be able to see it in your settings once you do that iOS 18 update. So let me show you what you're in store for once that update processes, no matter whether you're Team Android or Team Apple.
There it is.
Fantastic. Okay, are we all warmed up? We're feeling pumped. Okay, cool. Now, pay attention because this is where it's going to get good. I'm going to hand it off to Isabella to introduce RCS business messaging, or RBM.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, so we just threw another acronym at you, RBM. As Katie said, that stands for RCS business messaging. Now, what is RBM? It's really the commercial form of RCS. So it enables communication between businesses and consumers. For those familiar with the SMS world, this is your A to P SMS, but on RCS.
And A to P is application to person, right?
That's correct.
Yes. Versus like two people texting back and forth.
Exactly. So what does Apple supporting RCS mean for businesses? Well, in short, it's a major opportunity. As our co-founder Robert said, we want to break through to brands that this is the opportunity of a lifetime in customer communications and really the biggest change in messaging in 15 years. Now, we expect Apple to support RBM in a few markets by the end of the year. And for that to then continue to grow in 2025. I know there's some skeptics out there saying, well, you know, RCS pops up every few years. People get excited and then nothing happens. Well, I'm here to tell you that this time we mean it. We're debunking that. Apple's announcement last November that they would support RCS in 2024 has really been the catalyst for the hype that we've seen in the last year. Because one of the limitations for RCS taking off was that reach factor, the fact that it was only being supported for Android. But as RCS becomes accessible on more devices, those doors that were previously closed are really starting to open. Now, to set the scene for the messaging transformation that we're seeing, let's take it back to our OG messaging channel, SMS. SMS has been around for decades. There's no doubt that if you want to reach close to everyone on the planet today using one channel only, and you want them to open and actually read the message you're sending, so key points there, you send an SMS. It's got 98% open rate, 90% of messages get read within 3 minutes. So kind of a big deal.
Yeah, compare that to the metrics for your last email campaign. Just saying, no hate, no shade to email. We love email. But if SMS is the champion in one thing, it's reach.
Exactly. Exactly right, Katie. So, you know, although very successful, it does have its limitations, especially for modern marketing needs. SMS was really created for basic text notifications. MMS brought media into the picture, making things a bit more fun, but it hasn't achieved widespread adoption. So voila, RCS. RCS has been developed to offer a more feature-rich and interactive communication platform that's meant to meet the modern business needs and user expectations. So it's really the best of all channels rolled into one, and who doesn't love that? If we sum it up in one sentence, one strong sentence here, RCS offers the eye-catching functions of apps with the unbeatable reach of SMS. Now, I'd call that a win, wouldn't you, Katie?
It's not just a win, Isabella, it's a knockout, right?
It
Ding, ding,
sure
ding. Okay. I mean, just look at this RCS example here. It's rich, it's interactive, it's exploding out of the phone, thanks to our fabulous graphic designers at Cinch. But let me turn it back over to you, Isabella, so you can give a more kind of detailed explanation of all of those really cool features.
Yeah, so let's get into that. RCS business messaging looks very different than SMS. It has a lot more features, which is why it's so cool and powerful. From the top here, branding and verified senders. With RCS, you register your brand and you send messages that feature your logo, your colors, and also your business name. So no more random numbers. And your RCS sender agent is also verified. And you can see that with the check mark and that badge at the top right corner of the handset. So that really means instant recognition when messages get delivered into your user's mobile inbox, plus a greater sense of trust and security. We also see the dynamic elements that RCS supports here. So that layer of rich and interactive capabilities. We got the QR code here. We got buttons or suggested replies, suggested actions. And then an important part of the feature set that isn't, visible to the end user, but really a back office gem is better analytics with RCS. Now, we all know how important data and tracking is, getting actionable insights to measure campaign success. And that's not only something we talk about in the messaging world, but for email and other communications channels too. And with RCS, that's not something you'll have to lose sleep over. So RBM, she's pretty, she's smart, and she's secure.
She really is a knockout.
Yes, she is.
All right. Yes. RCS pushes the traditional boundaries of messaging and turns every text message into an experience. The values of RCS can be summarized in these three pillars: trust, CX, and efficiency. And so we're going to dig into each of these and share some use cases, real customer stories with you to really dig into what we mean with these three pillars here. So it all starts with trust. With RCS, your messages are branded with your logo front and center, so customers get that much more brand exposure each time they hear from you. And every message comes with a verified sender profile as a little security badge icon next to the sender ID, which consumers are really familiar with. We all love the blue check mark, right? And we know what that check mark means. It means that you actually are who you say you are. And the badge isn't just for show with RCS. RCS actually has end-to-end encryption that offers full protection from bad actors out to scam consumers with smishing attacks. And at Cinch, we're pretty big on security, and we see SMS fraud happening, a lot in several different markets. So the security factor is maybe an unsung hero of RCS, but it's super, super important. And all of this means that your customers will know it's really you. So they'll feel confident tapping the links you send them, interacting, and taking the actions that you want them to take. So looking at SMS and RCS side by side, the difference is instantly apparent. I probably didn't even need to go in and circle all the little, differences between the two, because it's just obvious that the SMS message on the left are coming from an anonymous shortcode, and they look like they could be from anyone. And you compare that to the same RCS messages on the right. The brand name and logo make it instantly clear that these texts are coming from DoorDash, a brand that we all know and trust. And then when you tap on that central DoorDash logo, you get a fully branded sender profile with the business's website, phone number, email, and even more brand elements. And again, just compare that to
that.
Yeah, exactly.
So great.
Exactly. And look at the SMS sender on the left here. It's just a string of random numbers and a blank user icon. I mean, think of all the time and effort you put towards coming up with your company name and logo and brand identity. There's a reason you didn't name your company 205-839-8201. Okay, so because that's not the brand experience that you want your audience to have. And yet, for so many businesses sending text campaigns today, that's all the customer sees. Well, one of many, but just one we'll call out today of Cinch's customers, Easy Park, wanted to do something about that. So why don't we turn it over to them?
The RCS comes up totally different than what you normally see with a normal SMS. And so you see immediately that it's Easy Park branded, you've got the blue tick to know it's verified, and then tap there, you can see the brand elements, our logo, you can see the phone number, you can see the website and the email address, totally richer experience than what our customers are currently getting on SMS. It makes you feel immediately at ease and you have a lot more trust.
Cool. And building that trust is absolutely critical. And, what else is critical to establishing customer relationships, Isabella?
Well, CX. So on to the second pillar, customer experience. It's no secret that consumers today expect more. We know that people want to message, they want to interact with businesses through messaging. But more than that, they really want to have seamless, trustworthy, and rich conversations, not your basic and boring text conversations or just one way. So delivering an exceptional customer experience, that's really central to making meaningful, lasting connections. And RCS helps you do just that. RCS turns every text message into an experience. I said it before, I'll say it again. It's built with that rich, interactive, and conversational experience in mind. And it really meets the modern business needs and user expectations, the modern consumer demand. What does that mean in practice? Well, let's put on the consumer hat and look at an example for a moment. So you're a shopper, you're looking for a new outfit. You've been on the website, you've added something to your wish list. Now, instead of receiving a one-way MMS with a promotion like we see here on the left, or maybe you get a one-way SMS from the business reminding you about that shirt that you saved in your wish list. With RCS, you can benefit from a carousel illustrating how that shirt pairs perfectly with the jeans that you just previously purchased from that brand. Or you can ask for more product recommendations. You can add something to your cart. You can even get a map, or the business can send you a map showing you the location of the closest store to you. So that makes for a much better customer experience. At least I think so. What do you think, Katie?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, it's just so freaking cool to me that you can have a full shopping experience inside of the native SMS inbox.
Inside of one channel. Like, you don't have to leave the conversation ever.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we know that this level of interactive, personalized shopping experiences, or just brand experiences, build customer loyalty. Your customers are more engaged, they feel more valued. They really kind of compare this experience to the other experiences they have with your competitors. And over time, all these interactions lead to a stronger brand reputation for your company. And that, of course, opens up new growth opportunities. For sure. And don't just take our word for it. Let's look at another Cinch customer that did just that, a personalized conversational experience that helped them increase customer engagement by 42% thanks to RCS. And we'll just show you a snippet, but I know Danny posted the full video here in the chat as well. Yeah, it's worth a watch. It's one of my favorite customer stories right now.
So you have this messaging, and you can click on Discover My Menu, and then you will choose everything that you want. And after that, we will give you the perfect menu for you. We did RCS conversational and also rich SMS. And for the RCS messaging, the click-through rate was 3 times higher than the rich SMS. And also the client engagement was 42% higher than the rich SMS, despite a smaller target population. So very amazing results.
Leaks from Picard.
Yeah, those two numbers really stand out to me. 3 times higher click-through, 42% increased engagement. That's pretty spectacular. So there you go. So RCS, you get more trust, you get improved CX, and finally, you also get better efficiency. But what do we mean by efficiency? Well, A few things, actually. As we mentioned earlier, RCS lives in the native messaging app on the home screen of every customer device. If you're a business that has a separate app, it's your number one goal to get that app onto the home screen. So it's a default thing that your customers use every single day. First thing they see when they open their phone, right? Well, that's already there with RCS. You no longer need to get your customers to download that separate app anyway. And you don't have to force them to leave one channel and jump to another by pushing them to a web page in order to deliver those branded and rich and conversational experiences. A lot of people are skeptical of those links anyway that you're putting into your SMS campaigns, your email campaigns. People don't like clicking those. And again, I'll mention reach. As major carriers begin to adopt RBM, we're moving towards that 100% reach metric with RCS. That makes SMS so powerful. And importantly, finally, with RCS, you get enhanced analytics that you didn't get with SMS, delivery rates, read rates, time to open. These are all really valuable, actionable data points that allow you to move to a more performance-based, data-driven marketing strategy where you can really make intelligent adjustments to your campaigns using these rich analytics that you haven't been able to get before with your text campaigns. So that's pretty cool too. And you know what? We're going to wrap it up real quick so that we can go ahead and get into some questions. There's a lot of them coming through. So that's great to see that you guys are engaged and interested in RCS. But before we get to that, we'll do a quick wrap up. In conclusion, these are the things to take away. RCS is branded. It's verified. It's interactive. It's in the same inbox as SMS. And you get read receipts, all these other great analytics, right? So with RCS, you're creating a better experience for end users while also benefiting from increased engagement. You can see these metrics over here. The numbers don't lie. And on top of that, those actionable insights that can just make your campaigns better and smarter. So there we go. That's what RCS is. And now it's up to you guys to take the next step. You dipped your toe into RCS today. We've got a lot more information where this came from. Cinch is actually the global leader in RCS. So please, if you are interested in learning more, if this, stood out to you in any way, scan this QR code and that'll take you right to our RCS hub, which has tons and tons of educational resources all in one place. And if you want to talk to an expert, you can let us know via the form on that page. And we will be more than happy to set up a discovery call. We've got lots of really great internal subject matter experts on this subject. So any question you've got, I think that's the part we're going to get to now, right? So
exactly.
So thank you. That's a wrap on the content. Let's hear from you guys.
It's question time, ladies and gentlemen. It's question time. All right. Let's see here. Make sure you upvote the ones are in the Q&A tab. We only have time for just maybe one or two. So let's see here really quick. This one came from external, but how do RCS costs compare to SMS? Katie, Isabella?
That is a great question. It really depends. It depends on, what market you're in right now or where you're sending. There's a lot of different factors. So you'll hear us say it depends a lot. But just, direct RCS to SMS. If you're just doing basic RCS, there's 3 different message types. Again, there's lots more you can learn about RCS. But just basic RCS is relatively comparable in most cases. But if you're adding that layer of conversational and sending rich messages and adding the full RCS experience, that will cost you a bit more, but it really depends on the market you're in and who you're sending to. So come talk to us and we'll share more information about that.
Love it. Make sure y'all reach out to them, y'all. Make sure you reach out. Okay. And then this one may be our actual last one, but this actually was the top voted. And people, and especially a lot of the email marketers in here and a lot of other email developers in here are going to want to go over these again. But one more time, are RCS campaigns easy to measure? What were those metrics? What kinds of metrics are used to evaluate performance and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so I think, if we're just looking at like SMS versus RCS, delivery receipts is something that you get on both, but it's the read receipts that's kind of the differentiator here. You don't get read receipts in those analytics with SMS, and here you can really get that. You can also, there are more analytics that you can get in terms of, attention span, sort of how long people are staying on that message, what they're doing after. So you can get a lot more information up front and really make smarter decisions. And that's really what we want to do as businesses, right? Like make data-driven and smart decisions and optimize. So that's what RCS helps you do. Is it easy? Yes. RCS is easy in so many ways, and Cinch makes it even easier for you to get started. So I know I saw Casey posted that guide on there in terms of, making a compelling business case to other stakeholders within your company. And yeah, that's really the important part, and that's what we're here to help you with.
Awesome. Go ahead.
We have a few more minutes, right, Thomas? Can we take a couple more questions? Because I just saw one pop up.
We got time for like one more, and then we have to run to a quick break because we got some more people coming through here. But let's if you see that one, let's go and answer it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Last one, because I think this is really important, from Shad Taylor. What happens if you send an RCS message to someone that does not have support on their device? Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to take that as well?
Yeah, sure. So, with RCS, like you can still send SMS as a fallback, right? So you can make sure that your message gets delivered. If a device isn't RCS enabled, so like Apple or iPhones today, or if you don't have an Android, you're unreachable on or via RCS, you can still send messages via SMS. So that 100% reach, that guaranteed delivery is still possible, right? So is there a fallback feature? Absolutely.
All right, love it. Katie, Isabella, one more?
Sure, let's do one more.
I mean, give us a difficult one.
Let's see.
I don't know if I should say that, but
take a look. See if there's anything in there. Also, shout out to Miriam and Jonathan helping us answer some of these technical questions. Thank y'all for y'all's help. You are the best. Awesome. Let's see. Which one are y'all looking at? We talked about open rates. Go ahead.
Let's see. We talked about reporting already and tracking those open rates. Yeah.
There were some questions about, what content you can and can't send. There are sort of restricted, compliance is important here. We talk a lot about security and trust. Compliance is also important. Google has their sort of acceptable use policy. Some content is fully prohibited, and some is, restricted. It depends on what types of messages you're sending within that sort of vertical or topic, I would say. So take a look. We can share a link here to that acceptable use policy, and you can look at it more closely. And again, if you have more questions, reach out at any time. And now Thomas might cut us off.
There was a lot we didn't get to, though, so I kind of want to send out like a follow-up Q&A for everything that came through. So.
Yes, we definitely could. We can definitely get in contact with some of these folks. So
a lot of these answers are actually like within our blogs, within our resources on cinch.com. So head over there and get your answers like from that QR code that Katie shared on that hub. We have a lot of resources, blogs, guides, and FAQ on our Cinch community. So you can get a lot of answers already. And if not, yes, you can always reach out and we'll share directly as well.
Awesome. Isabella, Katie, thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all being here today. Let's give them some love in the crowd, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you're too kind.
And of course, the ham horn.
Oh my God.
Love it. Isabella, Katie, I hope you had some fun with us today. Thank you for joining us for your first email camp. Ladies and gentlemen, Katie and Isabella.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Awesome. All right. Y'all take care. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go and take a quick break. I'll go and head on to that next session, so I'll see you over there.